This is the Doom Tomb Podcast, the podcast for all things stoner, doom, and sludge. My name is Chris. I am your host. Boy, it took a really long time for me to get this episode out, and the next few coming up. I had a few little missteps and just getting some stuff done with Planet Mammoth 2020 coming in February of 2020. We have got some new additions. You will not believe who is going to be on that bill. The announcement will be made soon. Full lineups will be made probably in late November, early December. All the set times, orders of bands, everything. So you will not want to miss it. Go head over to Planet Mammoth on Instagram, Planet Mammoth on Facebook, and check it out. But for today, we're going to talk about this band. They were fantastic. I love what they did. They're out of Montana. They've got a bunch of different tracks on Bandcamp right now. I'm waiting for the full length. Until that time, we get into a few different things. We do an epic battle, album versus album. Don't miss it. It is 2 Iron Maiden albums. Also, you will learn what exactly is a Crowley. Well, you'll find out in just a few minutes. These are the guys in Loin Hammer. Another night, we're outside in Tempe, Arizona, at the Timeout Lounge. I've got all of the guys here from the band Loin Hammer out of Kalispell, Montana. Is that correct?
Absolutely correct. Loin Hammer.
Yeah!
That's right.
Wait, what was the sing along that we had? What was it?
Oh, that was hammer, bow, axe,
axe,
and sword.
And hammer, bow, axe, and sword.
That's right.
Oh,
Chant
awesome.
it.
I love it.
Sing it loud and proud, baby.
That's a great thing. And you know what? I got to say, man, watching you guys live, I really enjoyed it because there was, we're in a smaller space, and you treated it like it was a fucking stadium. And I just love that, man, because it doesn't matter whether it's your drumming, your guitar work, this incredible bass work. You're all bringing it together, and you're bringing this feeling that was what I used to see back in the day. And it reminded me of a few things. But before we do that, can you just all go around and introduce yourselves?
Yeah, absolutely. That just speaking just now was Jared Bogus. I'll let him introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Jared Bogus, apparently. Anyways, yeah. And onward, I play guitar in this band and do the heavier part of the vocals, although everybody always helps me out because Lord knows I need it, baby.
I'm David Graham. I play drums in Loin Hammer. I've been playing drums for 18 years, and it is an absolute honor to play with these virtuoso musicians.
Doug McCallum, rhythm and lead guitars, backup vocals, member of Loin Hammer. Next.
Jeremy Everett, bass player and part-time singer. And, yeah, that's all you need to know.
And growler. Now, you know what? Here's the thing. So, all right. So I wrote a few notes. Sometimes I feel like when a band sees me doing that, they're like, "Oh, this motherfucker, he's not paying attention." But I'm trying to copy some stuff that I heard, that I felt, that I saw. And you know what? When I saw you start off the set, I really got this Death Angel vibe. I don't know if you're familiar. The Ultraviolence, one of my all-time favorite instrumentals, and I've really felt you bringing that. And with that, I heard so many other things. I heard yourself with the Bobby Blitz, Overkill style,
Definitely.
right? But also a little, if I dare say, COC from Animosity, DRI, Deal With It, that kind of style.
Oh yeah.
And then I see this guy. This guy comes on. I don't know what the fuck he's doing because he has a growl, and then he comes in with this almost like that Tom Araya scream that I was like, whoa.
See, Doug has the most clear and highest vocals of all of us. So when it comes time to, that's Doug's shining moment.
But he's got a whole wheelhouse, and does he pull the beef out? Yeah, he really does.
Because he did something tonight that I don't know if you might have heard it and you might not have heard. Have you ever heard anybody said that they remind you a little bit of Kronos from Venom.
I've never heard that before. No.
I heard it. There was, I felt it. I felt like Venom Witching Hour, and I felt that you were just you were just soaking it in. It was just coming through you, and I just thought that was so awesome. And
Well, thanks, man.
yeah, and there's so many other things that I saw. One of the things that I found really interesting, you guys really pretty much play through the amps. There's not a lot of pedal work at all. What do you attribute that to, or what do you like? Why are you doing that over some people that have like a million pedals?
I think we leave a lot of what we do to the playing itself. So as long as we have a kick-ass tone and an ability to boost our leads, because we do a lot of switch off, back and forth leads, then that's all we need. We want a great tone as, the base of our playing and the ability to boost our leads.
Exactly.
And once we find that, we're good.
Exactly. And with David and Jeremy, with their rhythm section, they hold down such a heavy, foot in the music that we found that the more we tried, because of course, like any band, you have your 100 pedals that you don't use. And we've gone through some pedals and none of them ever just hit home. We always just found that a pure sound with just a little bit of verb and keeping it real clean.
But also recently, Jeremy added a pedal to his sound.
Yeah,
and
the one
tell us
pedal
about
in the
that,
band.
man.
The Big Muff.
Yeah, I've been trying to find a pedal that worked for my clean tone that I like.
Right.
Because every pedal I've ever tried before changed the way my clean tone sounded and changed my bass sound entirely. And then my birthday just this last year, the guys surprised me with a new Big Muff Pie pedal for my bass.
Well, hello.
Yes.
Welcome.
Yes. And that has a switch on it that actually separates my natural clean tone from the overdriven tone so that you still hear my organic bass underneath it. And that's perfect.
So you're a fan of the Big Muff, basically.
I am now, yes.
Well, I hear it's making a comeback, so God bless. Knock that out of the park, man. But also, I noticed, and I wasn't sure actually how much you were going to take off, because you started with the shoes, and then eventually got to the shirt. I didn't know if anything else was going to come off. Now, I want to preface this. There was a band I saw out here about a couple months ago called Arma. And they were great. They crushed. They were heavy as balls.
Sure.
And speaking of balls, the drummer said, I don't care who sees it. I got to do it. He took off everything, put on a pair of boxers, and his junk was just displayed out there. And I'm like, no disrespect.
Sure.
Not that I want to. I really don't care to see it. But I guess if it happens, it happens. But
Sure.
Let me ask you, why are you choosing to play without the shoes?
Well, that's actually a really good question that I don't get asked a lot. So it's actually really nice to be able to answer this question. If it were my choice, I would play just absolutely, completely naked, buck-ass fucking naked, because for me, it's all about, number one, comfort, and number two, the show. Because I'm out front, I'm in front of literally in front of the pit.
Right.
So when I need to play and I need to play correctly, little things like a sticky shirt and a really rubbery sole, they get in my way of being able to focus on the music and my playability rather than a variable that is going to take away from something like that. So really, it's just a matter of being comfortable on my throne playing the drums, and if the ladies like it, they like it. It is what it is.
Hey, no. Well, I mean, I saw Tommy Lee do it. He played in a thong or whatever, and the guy from the drummer for No Doubt used to play without anything as well.
Absolutely.
And I mean, hey,
Devil horn drummer, right?
that's it. That's it. That's exactly it.
No doubt. Oh my God.
So we got to go over some tracks for your release whenever it comes out. We have something out on Bandcamp now, but we got more coming.
Oh yeah.
I want to go over that, but first, I saw this thing on social media, and we really got to get to the bottom of this, and that is the Iron Maiden tattoos. So you have the tattoo,
Absolutely.
and he has the tattoo.
I have a tattoo as well of Eddie.
Okay, so you both have Eddies?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
Yes.
what era Eddie?
My Eddie is a variation from Killers. My brother actually did it. He used that as a model and drew his own, but it is very much the Killers Eddie.
Okay, and your Eddie is...
The Power Slave, Mummy Eddie, breaking the chains. Everybody knows the image.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah.
iconic.
Now, I talked to you off mic, and you were saying that Power Slave is probably one of your favorites, right?
Power Slave is by actually a pretty long shot my favorite Iron Maiden album.
Okay, but we're going to... What the hell was that over there? Somebody's throwing a bunch of bottles. Talk
They
about
crashed
recycling.
the cart.
Something happened.
Good job.
Yeah. Bringing thunder. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to have a little battle right now. We're going to battle Number of the Beast versus Peace of Mind. Are you okay with that?
Yep.
All right.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. All right. So let's start the battle right now. Iron Maiden, Peace of Mind. We have Where Eagles Dare versus Invaders. What do you choose? What track?
I'm gonna have to definitely go. I'm gonna go with Invaders on that one. I'm gonna go with The Underdog. It's absolutely an amazing song. The scaling in that song, Adrian Smith's work, Dave Murray's work, Nico, all of them. I mean, they're just a powerhouse band. It seems like, honestly, you know, you hear about these super bands that were all guys from other bands.
Right.
And I'm always disappointed when I hear the band.
You mean like a
there's
super
couple
group?
that, there's a couple that shine a little bit, but I'm always a little bit like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, it's like Velvet Revolver or
okay.
Even Audio Slave was great, but I mean, still, like I expect more when I hear who it is and what they're gonna do.
Right.
And Iron Maiden does that, and they did that from the very beginning. I mean, their ability to meld together and play all of them virtuoso style music, but also keeping it within the wheelhouse of not being so complex and so far out there that you can't, nod your head to it,
Okay.
when you're changing that rhythm and getting so crazy.
So what do you pick then?
He's picking Invaders.
I'm picking Invaders. I'm going
All
to
right.
move it on.
All right.
No.
I literally have no opinion. You're talking to a '90s kid, so.
And we're gonna get to that because we're gonna get to your music in a little bit.
Well, I'm going to pick Where Eagles Dare, and David will appreciate why. It's a real quick story. Nico McBrain refused to use double kick for the longest time.
Right.
He called it undrummerish. So Where Eagles Dare, the rhythm goes. And Bruce Dickinson said he would literally spend 8 hours at a time in the studio to do that single kick.
Right.
And I think it's absolutely an amazing feat of drumming, and I like the song better. So that's my pick.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Well, I absolutely agree with Doug on the amazing drumming on that song.
Right.
However, as far as just liking the song better when I hear it, I gotta go with Invaders
Ooh.
because it's just more gets me pumped more.
More like
when I
almost
hear it.
like more new wave of British heavy metal kind of sound.
Yeah, it just
Right.
just gets me amped up a little more, makes me want to get animated.
All right. So I got to break the tie. Or break the tie? No. I got to make the tie. I'm making the fucking tie. No. Hold on a minute. Simmer down, Teapot. No, I'm 2 Invaders, 1 Eagles Dare. Guess where I'm going? Eagles Dare. Yeah. And
Never go Where Eagles Dare.
now, and apparently, and the main thing that caught me on this, and you know what? I appreciate you telling me about this because what I have in front of me are musicians, true musicians, giving me the honest truth. And here I am. I'm a listener. I'm not a musician. So when I hear Eagles Dare, when I hear that and then they go, and then I feel like that's Bruce Dickinson's playing, and he's ready to take off, and then they go into that full solo. I love that. That is one of my favorite spots of anything that I've ever heard, and or ever heard from Iron Maiden. That I got to go with that. I'm sorry. So we're gonna have a tie on that one. All right. Well done.
We'll clap for the tie.
All right.
I think by default, David should pick Where Eagles Dare because of the story that I specifically told there.
It is. So what do you think?
Do you have an opinion now?
Well, this is, I'll be specific. This is an opinion based on literally not knowing either song very well, but I have heard Where Eagles Dare. I can hear it in my head. I do love that song. It is a really great song, although I feel like casting a vote might be a bit extreme because I fucking don't know. I just simply don't know.
All right, so we'll basically say Where Eagles Dare won. Okay, fine. We'll move on. We'll move forward.
Good enough. That's
so
good.
we're gonna go to the second song, and I've noticed that whether it was Number of the Beast, whether it's Peace of Mind, they slowed it down a little bit on the second track. So we've got Revelations versus Children of the Damned.
Oh shit, that's a hard one. Revelations is one of their really big live songs that
Right.
they do the da-na-na, ka, da-na-na,
Yeah.
ka. And Bruce makes everyone. I don't know if any of these listeners have actually seen Iron Maiden live. If you haven't, please do it before they die because they are amazing.
They're heading out on tour very soon.
Yeah, they're actually out right now, or
Right.
still out in the U.S. But they're amazing live, and something about them is Bruce Dickinson. I mean, he is a theatrical genius, and he makes you feel like you didn't only pay to see a rock concert, you paid to go to the theater and see a real thespian do some amazing acting.
Right.
And he controls the crowd. And I remember at Iron Maiden, I honestly looked around during Revelations and thought to myself, man, if he told everyone here to kill themselves, there'd be a lot of dead bodies. Like that's how crazy it was. And so because of that, because of the live version, even though I love Children of the Damned, it is an amazing song. I'm going to have to go with Revelations on this one.
And I heard him laughing. Look, I just want to let's just clarify. Thespian is an actor. It's not when two girls really dig each other. It's a different. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Damn it, Beavis. Anyway, can I? Do you have an opinion on this, David? Do you know the songs?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and pick. I'm gonna agree with Jared.
Okay.
Revelations. I like the song, the epic, da da dun,
Dun.
da da dun, dun dun. The pauses. And another fun fact is, well, before Yannick was in the band, when they had 3 guitar players,
Okay.
it was the only song that Bruce Dickinson played guitar on live. He played that little clean part in between.
Yep.
Okay, so your turn, Jeremy.
I did not know that, but again, just for the simple fact that I like the song better, I'm going with Revelations.
Revelations, and you know what? I'll make it unanimous. Revelations, because I've seen them live, and I know that crowd interaction when they get that crowd interaction. It's like it's all 5'6" of him or whatever he is, but he looks 10 feet tall right there. Yeah, and just throwing it, man. Okay, so we're gonna go with Revelations. All right, so we're two on Peace of Mind here. All right, we're gonna move on. Flight of Icarus versus The Prisoner. Now, as a listener, I always got for both of them. I got this almost Dio vibe going on.
Definitely.
So, what do you think? Flight of Icarus, The Prisoner.
I'm definitely going to have to say Flight of Icarus on this one. I know we might actually have some interesting views on whose favorite is, but that song to me was a song. My dad passed away, and when he passed away, I felt that song really speak to me, and it was like one that I listened to and was amazed by, and it's not a typical Maiden song. They kind of go with a whole different rhythm with it. It's a little more like joggy chug, like put it in your ears and go for a jog. Guess what? You're gonna run for 20 miles. But it's that kind of song for me. I love the song, and I love the lyrics. I love the idea. It's the Icarus, the famous
Fly on your
concept
way.
that you're too close to the sun and you burn up, And like right next to my Eddie tattoo, I've also got the Tower of Babel tattoo, which is
really?
the same concept.
Yeah.
Build up so close to the sun that eventually you destroy by becoming too big for your britches, boys. So with that concept, I'm gonna definitely stick with Flight of Icarus.
David, do you have an opinion on the matter?
Again, no. But I would like to specify that my lack of an opinion does not suggest that I don't like Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden is kick-ass. Nico McBrain is an idol of mine. They are excellent, and I should admittedly listen to more. But as of right now, this moment, as I sit across from you, I don't have an opinion.
Did you ever see the YouTube video of Nico that he sat in on somebody they think they were doing a cover, and he came in and just sat in and played the drums for this other band? I know I saw it on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah, I think I did. I think I did catch that, and I can't remember the name of the band, but I do remember Nico stepping in and doing what Nico does best, just rocking single bass and somehow playing the drums heavier than anyone else. I don't understand it personally.
He's got a huge kit.
It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
So what do you got?
I'm gonna go with The Prisoner.
Okay, let's hear this.
Basically because of the lack of my like for Flight of Icarus.
Okay.
It feels like it's just all build up and no climax. Like most of the drumming isn't even like your typical like keep a ride going bass and snare. It's a lot of like on the floor tom, on the kick drum, and on the snare like.
But that's like the ride into battle kind of
Yeah,
thing.
I don't know. It just never picks up for me.
Okay,
and
fair
it's
enough.
very repetitive, and I happen to like The Prisoner quite a bit.
Okay,
So it's an easy one for me.
fair enough.
All right, next, Jeremy is
Yes.
up next.
So basically, what you're saying is that song gives you blue balls.
Pretty much, yeah. There's no finish.
No, that
Yeah.
doesn't give me blue balls because I could.
Then you got to go listen to a different song to finish off.
The build-up doesn't even set up for a climax. It's a long, boring, repetitive song.
All right. Oh.
And I don't like the shots. I don't like the hummy part. It bothers me.
Yeah. Now you know what? That's funny because that kind of caught me. I was like, yeah, or I don't know whether it's a or the ooh, like.
He doesn't open his mouth.
Like apparently,
It's an M, not
is
an
it?
O.
Because it's exactly how I felt because I had a white bean soup yesterday, and I mixed it with chicken, barley, and mushroom, and shit farting constantly. Now, if you don't know, I'm a massage therapist, and God forbid, I hate. Like I thought I had a break, and I didn't, and I had somebody. And I'm like, I am fucking turtling here. Can somebody please just give me a break or something because I got to drop such a deuce here. Anyway, sorry about that. We got sidetracked. Please, sir.
It's all good. This is the same kind of shit we talk about around the campfire all night.
That's the only thing to talk about, really. Eventually, you got 5 guys here. When is it not going to get in? When is shitting not going to come up? And I got to tell you, man, I haven't talked about it for quite a time in this podcast, and I think it's high time. But we might have to
Absolutely.
get to that later. But go ahead, sir.
All right, I'm gonna have to go with The Prisoner,
Right.
Because it really speaks to me. Because it's one of those songs that's about a really great story. Mm-hmm. I am not a number. I am a free man.
Yes.
And I love that.
Yes.
Because that just feels the way our country is trying to go right now.
Right.
And that song was, the movie it's based off of was warning us, and now the song is. And that just speaks to me a lot.
Right.
And I ain't getting no damn barcode tattoo.
Now, and that's the thing. It's like Flight of Icarus. I remember watching it on MTV, seeing the video come out and loving it, and Peace of Mind. Like Number of the Beast was like my intro, but Peace of Mind was my big intro to Maiden, and then I went back and Killers and the original Maiden with Diano. But you know what? I like what you said because I agree. There was something about the narration of The Prisoner
Yeah, it tells the story in great detail.
that caught me. And as much as I love Flight of Icarus, I love that whatever it is, holding in his, before he explodes. I gotta go with The Prisoner. So I'm gonna make an agreement on that one. So yeah,
Prisoner for the win.
So that is the one. Okay. So where are we here? We got. We're moving. All right. So we're ready here. We got to go to Die With Your Boots On versus 22 Acacia Avenue.
Oh, that doesn't even take me 2 seconds to think about. 22 Acacia Avenue is by far the winner for me. It's
Really?
written by Adrian Smith. Not that I don't like Die With Your Boots On, but there's a part in Die With Your Boots On that really sounds like Bruce is just, if you're gonna die with your brothers, and he's like rushing.
Was it the gang vocal? You're gonna die.
Yeah, I think it just sounds rushed and not very, I feel like that was a song that they basically wrote in the studio and were like, we're putting this in there, Yeah. You're gonna die. Yeah, it gets a little
Like a filler, really.
Yeah,
They wrote it
it
'cause
feels
they
like a
needed one more
filler
track on
song,
the song.
and 22 Acacia Avenue has one of my favorite metal screams from Bruce Dickinson when he does, it goes to this breakdown and it's the and he does this screaming, and it's very unlike Maiden. He really does a gruff rather than his typical operatic singing that he does most of the time.
Right.
And the second I heard that, it was instant erection. I love this song.
Ooh, wow.
22
Like a cheeseburger on the
Acacia
end of it.
Avenue is the winner for me. Onward to David.
This is actually a fun occasion for me because I do have an opinion about this.
Ooh.
I like 22 Acacia because, actually, Jared brought it up, that breakdown part where Bruce pulls out some vocals that he's never pulled out before. It just is different, and I like different. I like those outlier songs, and 22 Acacia, as opposed to Die With Your Boots On, just for me was just a little bit more different, and so it was a little bit more special for me, and I would go with that one.
Okay. Sir?
I'm just happy that David had an actual opinion on this, man.
Decisions.
Neither one are really very high on my Maiden list.
Yeah, you got it.
And I'm just going to have to go straight to musicianship,
Right.
and I could pick 22 Acacia Avenue.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it.
You
It's
feel-
more diverse, complex. There's more harmonies, more
Sure.
breakdowns,
Sure.
and yeah.
Okay. Sir?
That's about it.
Yeah, I got to go with the Avenue as well because the song's just a lot more fun to listen to.
Yeah.
Die With Your Boots On, like I was saying, just kind of seemed like an idea they had and said, why not? But didn't really put
Yeah.
any soul into it or anything.
I felt that, and I don't know, this is old school, but people would sometimes maybe not end the first side of the album with a big track, and then they come with Thunder on. We used to say put it on side 2 and let's rock, which is what we're about to do, and we're gonna come up because I agree, 22 Acacia Avenue, period. But we got to go. This is a hard one, man. Oh, you know what? Let me ask you this quick question. So, Die With Your Boots On, all right? So, you're all talented. You know the deal. When you hear when I heard "Die with Your Boots On," I got this feeling that like Oz Fox from Stryper took a little bit of that tone. Did you ever get that?
Yeah, absolutely. I really think that that song might have created. Well, if it was Stryper around during that time, they were later, right?
Like about a year later.
Yeah. So you're gonna die with your boots on. You're gonna die. Created Stryper, and they were like, "Hey, guess what? Die with your boots on, bitches!" And they created a band. They got together. That was their first cover. They played it at every show until they finally. Oh, I'm completely talking out of my ass right now.
Son of a bitch! You rat bastard, you. That's a good one, though. Good pull, dude. I love that. You caught me. All right, you got me, motherfucker. All right, we're gonna go. This has got to be one of the hardest decisions here of all time in a world. We're gonna go The Trooper. Yeah. We know about this. I heard it earlier. Versus The Number of the Beast.
That's not.
I'll
even
just hand
fair.
the mic over. Go ahead.
I feel like this one is unfair and oh my gosh, Number of the Beast versus Trooper. Okay. Wow. Okay. I'm thinking about it in my brain. Number of the Beast was an iconic song that created Iron Maiden. Without that song, I mean, I don't think they would have ever gotten as big as they did. They would have been big, but not as big as they were. They became icons.
Yes, when the
because of-
Christians
yep.
hate you, you get big.
Exactly. And I mean, it was the just straight up diversity of that song that like everyone thought Iron Maiden is satanic when they heard that. These guys are Satan worshipers. And you know what? That probably sold them more albums than anything else they ever did in their career.
But what does that have to do with how Jared feels?
Well, honestly, Jared feels that I got to go with the Trooper. It's like that rhythm, that strumming, that ba-da-bum, it's literally horses galloping. Not to say that most Maiden songs don't already have that in it, but I mean, when I saw the video at a very young age, and I mean, I had to have been like 10 when I saw that on MTV. Like, it was huge, and the Indian, I mean, it was such a great video that I got to go with the Trooper. Absolutely, Trooper over Number of the Beast.
All right, all right. Here's some real points of contention here from the drummer Dave. I have some serious fucking opinions about these two songs because Number of the Beast is just one of those Iron Maiden songs that everyone knows. Everyone hears the chorus 666 Number of the Beast, and everyone just gets super pumped about it. And I can't deny that at all. But my personal choice is going to have to be the Trooper. Not because of its recognizability or, you know, how much people actually like the song, but because of other bands covering the song The Trooper. Anytime anyone hears the bam dun 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 dun, fucking people from the bar put down their drinks and go to the stage and they love that song. And granted, Number of the Beast may have been more popular for Maiden, but and in terms of Loin Hammer, oh fuck, the Trooper is just absolutely it's gotta be my pick.
All right, Doug here. Easily gonna go with the Trooper.
All right.
I just like the song better. I could say a million things, but I'm just gonna keep this thing going. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I got to go with the Trooper as well because I just love how right out the gate that song just explodes.
Right.
And it's like at the fucking Kentucky Derby or whatever the shit it is, where they open the gates and the horses just fucking go. And that's how the Trooper starts. Just right now, go. And it just keeps going the whole time.
Go ahead. Oh, okay. Yeah, crank it up.
We like
Let's hear some noise. Right on.
Lay us a patch on your way out.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. All right, so what do we got here? We got
Four troopers.
fucking 4 troopers.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
And not the Isuzu.
Yeah, my
I'm
tranny
gonna-
just went out.
I'm gonna
so-
talk until see if he can start this truck up and see what it sounds like. If he says it's thunder, I gotta hear some thunder. I'm kind of excited to hear it now. But
Classic Chevy.
I'll talk until he starts it. But it's like, oh, let's see. Oh, all right. I hear some.
Sounds like a Manowar song.
Yes, get out your loincloths, people. Oil up those bodies.
Very nice.
That does sound good. I hope that comes
does
through
sound
on the
kinda nice, doesn't it?
microphone.
What you got there? It's kind of a lowrider kind of thing. All right.
Mildly modified Chevy.
Yeah, it's got some hair on those balls. I'd say so.
That's a highly
All right.
modified son of a bitch.
So here's the thing: without being a proper musician, the Trooper, man, I loved seeing that because first time I got it, I got it on cassette, and I turned it over side 2, and it just fucking rocked. However, Number of the Beast, dun 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 dun, yeah, that was my war cry of like, what kind of voice? I've never heard a voice like this. What is this? This is like power, man. This is huge. This is bombastic. Now, that's the decision, man. But you know what? Just on the idea of the chug, the like you said, the horses, the battle, the Indians, all of that. The video. I don't know what was that? What was it?
Russians.
Russians. I thought it was. Wasn't there like they were doing the horses?
The Indians
and-
was from Run to the Hills.
Oh shit!
Russians
right.
was Trooper.
You're right.
My bad, guys. I totally confused my Iron Maiden videos there.
No, hey, that's
but
cool.
it is actually the Russian battle.
That's right.
Yeah, between the English and the
Absolutely.
Russians on that video.
All right. It's also like one of the first videos I ever saw. I watched it on Night Flight on USA Channel when
yeah.
they were doing all that weird shit at night.
yeah, yeah.
11 to 6 a.m. Yeah, even before her, Rhonda something. Before her, before Gilbert Gottfried, they used to do this weird, like they used to play propaganda videos of like, smoking weed and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And I used to record that on the VCR like every weekend because you never knew what you were gonna hit. I think I'll go with. I'm gonna go with the Trooper.
It's
I'm
a
sorry.
landslide.
I'm sorry.
It's a landslide.
Very nice.
And the landslide keeps falling down.
Whoa.
Yes, very good. Right on. All right, so we're gonna move. Okay, now this, to me, this seems like a no-brainer. Still Life over Run to the Hills.
Oh yeah. Run to the hills. Run to the hills.
Run to the Hills. Run to the Hills.
I am so sick of that song and the drum intro and the. I mean, like I like a lot of cheese with my music, but that
Right.
just pushes my limits. I've heard it way too many times, so no,
You're gonna go Still Life?
absolutely.
But all right, but Mike, please. So
Yeah.
the fucking fill on that man.
Oh man.
Come on.
You're not.
If I think some of the most important fills I've ever heard in my life is obviously Tom Sawyer
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
and Run to the Hills.
Yep. Yes.
All right, so you're gonna lose on this one, pal. We're going Run to the Hills. It's okay. It's fine. You stay still over there.
Yeah, no,
you have your life.
It's all good.
That's all right.
Everything's okay.
No, just
I got so excited about my discontentment towards that vile song, "Run to the Hills."
that's okay. That's okay. We got a few more. No worries. No worries. All right. Quest for Fire versus Gangland. Or you know what? Here's the
don't-
thing.
don't give me
because
the
there's
mic.
there's
I
a
got
different
nothing.
there's a different sequence. So I'm gonna say either. You know what? We'll do a three-peat here. We'll do like Quest for Fire, Sun and Steel, or Gangland.
Oh
man, you just made it complicated. It was easy at the beginning. You know what? I'm going to shoot for the underdog on this one, and I'm going to say I actually really love Quest for Fire.
Okay. I don't
There's
see that as
this
an underdog.
dun-dun-dun-dun-dun thing going on in there,
Right.
and Bruce's vocals are very pronounced in that song. He sounds great. Yeah, he destroys.
Ooh.
Oh, he's gonna hit me with
Not
that. That's
Phil.
all right. That's all right. And I'm all right with that. One great thing about this band is we are able to sit down and talk to each other about these kinds of subjects, just like Iron Maiden songs that are a bit touchy.
Right.
Some people might get in a fist fight. You
Uh,
might have a shit on the hood of your car in the morning when you wake up and go out, but not with this band.
Wait,
Crowley,
hold
correct?
on a second. Wait, hold on, please. A Crowley, sir?
A Crowley.
Please indulge me.
Well, a Crowley is when you shit on something owned by somebody else. And I decided it was called that after I read a story about Aleister Crowley being invited to a really high-class, rich society dinner party.
Yeah.
And he walked in clad in his wizard robe that he wore, and he walked directly up to the head of the nice dining table with all the rich, fancy people
In
around
someone
it.
else's house. In someone else's house.
Yes. And he hiked up his robe and took a shit on the floor right there at the head of the table, and then walked out.
That's pretty punk rock.
All right,
I would
so
say.
it's a Crowley because I've known, like, you know, if you shit on somebody else, well, first off, there's the glass tabletop trick. I know that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's the Cleveland Steamer.
The Cleveland
we got that.
Steamer. Oh.
We also have the Chili Dog. Are we? We're
Oh,
familiar-
yeah. Oh,
we're
yeah.
Familiar with Chili Dog?
Chili Dog,
Yeah,
baby.
very, very important. I'll have links in the show notes for this. There's really high class stuff here. But I appreciate him shitting where he did. Don't get me wrong, please. But as a champion, what I would have done was, as a gentleman, as I am, I would have gone to the bathroom, shut the water off for the toilet, emptied the toilet out. Are you familiar with that one?
Oh yeah. Is this the tank shit?
This is the upper decker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
upper decker,
And,
yeah.
And then you
Everybody
refill
knows
it,
that.
and then it's the gift that keeps on giving.
It does.
It's no matter how many times you flush, it's still gonna smell like
Yeah, it's
rotten.
Christmas every day in
Yes.
that bathroom.
Yeah, welcome to And you know you almost want to hear that dun 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 dun.
Oh, yeah.
because it's Christmas time every day.
Oh,
Understood.
absolutely.
All right, so I apologize, the Crowley, but we're gonna go Quest for Fire, Sun and Steel, or Gangland.
Fucking pass me right up. I don't even know those songs. I got nothing.
Sun and Steel, easy. Just
Okay.
'cause I don't really like the other two songs that much.
Okay, and sir.
Kind of feeling like an asshole right now because I gotta admit I can't remember what Gangland, how that song goes.
Then it didn't work for you.
So apparently it's not going to be that one.
Okay.
So I'll have to go with Quest for Fire.
Okay. Now here's the thing. Then when you were talking about filler, I got the feeling personally, Gangland felt a little fillery to me. Even like Quest for Fire, I didn't feel quite filler. Sun and Steel, I felt like filler, but I liked it. Like Kill Your First Man at 13. What is it? Yeah. Something Instinct, Animal Supreme. You know, and Killer Instinct, Animal Supreme.
Walking bass lines.
And I just that, and like you were singing it before, the chorus, sunlight falling on your steel. You know, death and life is your ideal, life of the and I don't know, as a kid, as a whatever I was, 10-year-old or whatever, I really drew to that song, and it was honestly, I think it was one of the shorter songs on that album as well. So it was like I was so used to, I was not hearing, like the first time I heard Where Eagles Dare, I was like, this is like, what is this, 25 minutes? But it's maybe a 6-minute song. I just wasn't used to it, unless I heard maybe a Pink Floyd track or something. But, and then I got to Sun and Steel. I was like, oh, it's like 325 or whatever. Like, this is good. I can play this one over and over again. All right, so you were Quest, and you were Sun and Steel, Quest
for Fire.
and I'm Sun and Steel. All right, so we got another tie. All right. Okay, so the last one, and it's, come on. All right. To Tame a Land versus Hallowed Be Thy Name.
I'll go first. This is Doug. Hallowed Be Thy Name used to be my favorite Iron Maiden song.
What's happening
And it's
here?
still one of my very favorite Iron Maiden songs. It's in the, well, what happened is, I don't know, things change.
Life changes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got you, brother.
And so anyway, that's easily Hallowed Be Thy Name.
Oh, nice. All right.
To my left, Jeremy.
Yes, I will also go with Hallowed, as that song's just fucking epic.
It really is.
Every time I hear it, it's
I'm
just
not trying to sell it to you. I'm just saying.
just epic. And it is absolutely one of the best Maiden songs and one of the best metal songs out there, in my opinion. So I definitely go with Hallowed Be Thy Name.
And there's something about that, just that title, just grabs you.
Oh,
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
it's more than the title to me.
Ooh.
I mean, the entrance of that song, that I'm sitting in my cold cell as the bell begins to chime. I mean, that, when I heard that
We're
for
the
the
worst.
first time, I had
feel like I'm the fucking
goosebumps.
worst.
I had goosebumps. I was like immediately just completely blown away. Like, I'm what's gonna happen? And then
Yes.
that oh my gosh, there's so many things. We could probably sit and talk about this song for a couple hours, just going through piece by piece, dissecting. It's absolutely insane because it shows every facet that is Iron Maiden. I mean, even things that you hear in the later albums, you know, like Dance of Death and Brave New World. Those all started with Hallowed Be Thy Name.
Right.
They all started right there. And it's a no-brainer. It's Hallowed Be Thy Name. No way to Tame a Land is going to be able to take that.
Look, I'm with you on that. I'll just say it. It's absolutely Hallowed Be Thy Name for me. Go ahead.
And now everyone's looking at me like I am going to say something that's interesting or different than everyone
Prophetic
else.
was what I'm
no,
looking for.
fuck no. Hallowed Be Thy Name is the shit. Are you fucking kidding? That song, it kicks ass. You don't even have to know Iron Maiden to know that song.
I like it. What are we listening to over there?
Hallowed Be Thy Name, I think.
I don't know what it is, but I don't like it.
It's Hallowed Be Thy Name.
Oh, here. Okay, so this guy's coming on. He's got
Wait, hang
lights
on.
on
Yeah.
his
It's very poppy.
bicycle,
I'm hearing it.
and he's driving by. And I don't. Well, it's
There's
poppy.
lights on the bike.
You know, here's the thing. I'd give it an 85. It's got a rhythm I can dance to, and yeah. Does that sound right? It's kind of poppiness. We can dance to that. Yeah.
I give that a negative 100.
Look, I'm going on.
I agree. There's a warning before they play those tracks saying
So you don't
that
need to wear a
the
leisure
bright
suit. You have to wear,
flashes.
like, a
Yeah,
seizure suit.
Intended for fish only.
for fish only.
For fish only. All right, so that was exhausting. Jesus, I didn't think it was going to take that long.
We can do that.
So what? All right, so we basically got a tie. Really?
On the whole album?
We're doing Where Eagles Dare. We're doing Revelations. We said, we went on the Prisoner, 22. We went on the Trooper, Run to the Hills. Sun and Steel. That would be the name. You know what? It might actually be Number of the Beast. That might be the winner. Ladies and gentlemen, if I had a dinger, a ding. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, fucking ding!
That's it. And now, thank you so much for indulging me in that. I really appreciate that. And I think it's time to talk about the band. What the hell?
Oh, I can't wait.
Kalispell, Montana. What about Kalispell creates this music that LoinHammer creates?
See, that's a question that I don't think actually has an answer, really. The four of us came together kind of randomly. Jared and I were playing in a band called True Sedation, and
Style?
Style was a lot of covers. We covered Tool, Audio Slave.
Really?
We actually covered The Trooper in that song, or in that band, and it was a great band. It was.
Anthrax. We did some fun stuff. We did some Anthrax. We did a lot of fun stuff in that band. But the fun thing about that band was we had this amazingly young female vocalist as a lead in it.
Right.
And she was just amazing. Unfortunately, the band was super short-lived, and we wound up drowning out the band after about, 3-4 months?
Yeah, it was about 4. I honestly think it was like 4, maybe 5 months. We had some good shows in there, but really, what it came down to was that Mackenzie, the young bombshell of a singer, she went and left and did her own thing and left us high and dry. And members come, members go. Jared and I stuck together. We went through some other members, and through those other members, we met Jeremy, and one of Jeremy's best friends was Doug. So just simply by proxy and by knowing these people and being around all of these very talented musicians, we were just super fortunate.
Right.
Super fortunate. That's really all it is absolute luck. There's nothing special about the Flathead Valley other than the people there. They fucking care about what they're doing and what they're putting out. And it's good shit. So.
And Flathead Valley, you're referring to Kalispell, is that
Yeah.
or that
Yes.
area?
Yes.
So like, I don't know much about this. Look, all right, here's the thing: the guys Wizard, they come around here every, maybe once, twice a year, whatever. I get to see them, and I hear how beautiful it is, and how is it Black Magick Studios?
Yes. Black Magic Studios.
I hear how awesome that spot is, and that's where you're doing your recording.
Oh, it's great.
And I just hear it's a really chill spot. But you're telling me that there's an actual scene there. So don't keep your asses at home. Get out there. Go to the shows in Montana. Go to we were talking about old school records before. What are some other places that you would suggest to play if somebody's coming through town and they need some spots to gig? What do you suggest?
There is absolutely a nice handful. I mean, you could come into the Flathead, plot a day off in Glacier Park. Go check out the glaciers, the mountains, and everything there, and wildlife.
Right.
And in the meantime, you could look at, like we just said, Connor at Old School Records for booking. You could look at out at the Silver Bullet. There's always great booking out there. It's kind of a bar a little bit out of town in the middle of nowhere. Great place, though, and people come to it, and that's the great thing.
Right.
And the awesome thing is everybody in this whole valley knows each other. So if there's a show anywhere, everybody knows about it. There's a guy named Kenny Stifler, and he runs sound at Kenny Stifler.
Right.
And you know he went to school right when South Park and American Pie came out. So he
Poor
got
guy. That poor fucking guy.
He got hung up by the heels. But anyways, he is a big part of the pushing of the music scene, as are all the bands that are coming out of there.
Right.
But there's places in Whitefish. I mean, there's the Craigie Range. You could even get a show at Casey's in Whitefish. There's a great sound system in there, a great light system in there. As far as Kalispell, there's the Eagles Club, which is really awesome. They actually have 2 stages in that place, and very often that's where Jamie did Riff Fest. And very often you'll have a stage upstairs, a stage downstairs, and you have no downtime with these music festivals that get thrown there, where a band's playing upstairs, and then as soon as they're done playing, band downstairs starts.
That's awesome.
And you don't miss a second. You don't have to wait and watch a band tear down and set up. They're ready.
Right.
And then you go upstairs, band's ready. Downstairs, band's ready. 2 sound men, 2 sound systems. And they do that all the time there. It's actually a really special venue. And that was the Eagles Club. The VFW in Kalispell houses venue. I mean, the Remington and Whitefish has been
Wow, there's a lot of places here.
Absolutely.
It sounds like a really great scene.
It really is. I recently went to see, and not metal or doomy, but the Reverend Horton Heat down
Brilliant.
down at the Remington in Whitefish, and it was like, wow, this is 3 miles from my house. I'm definitely going to this show.
That's a heavy duty in Arizona. There are a lot of punk billy, rockabilly. It doesn't matter. It's Reverend Horton Heat. Something Devils are going to be playing soon. Like Goddamn Gallows come through here quite a bit.
You know what? It's big everywhere because, ironically, I want to bring up real quick that our guitar player, Mr. Douglas Lyle McCallum over here, he actually plays drums in The Infernals, which is a
ask you
total
about that.
rockabilly band. Let's have Doug say something.
Yeah, I play drums in this rockabilly band, the Infernals. We're
Right.
from Kalispell. And actually, Matt Lawler, who plays in the Lucitones, who has played at the Yucca,
Lucitones.
is our stand-up bassist, but he's
Right.
the drummer for the Lucitones.
Okay.
And the Gutter Demons that are playing at the Yucca.
Yeah, Gutter Deep. That's who I was thinking of. Because I just saw
The Infernals played with them at the Kalispell VFW.
I just saw that the ad for it. Now I'm looking at you. I'm wondering, do you create a pompadour or something for your hair?
No.
Do you do
No.
like a DA or something like
I
that?
did once for a while when I was younger, and it's just so much time and wax.
It's a lot of work.
I
A lot of
start
shellac.
sweating, and the wax melts, and my hair goes flat, and I got to
Yeah.
go to the bathroom, do my hair. It's just this
Fair
whole
enough.
thing.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. You can put on a rockabilly
So,
hat or something maybe.
To kind of go in that same subject
Sure. Yeah,
of,
that
like,
works.
flathead music and Kalispell and all that.
Okay.
Jeremy, the bass player of Loin Hammer, and I played together in a punk rock band when we were 17. I played drums for that. We were called the Vagrants. And that's the first time we played music together.
Okay.
Then we went on to play in a band together where I played drums, he played bass, called the Virus Invaders with another friend of ours. And then we went on to play in a band called Chromatron and Sephiroth, which is when we got into the serious metal side of things and brought in our Manowar, Iron Maiden, Yngwie Malmsteen, all those type of influences
Nice.
into the writing of the music. And then those bands never quite stood the test of time. And a couple years after Sephiroth is when we joined forces with David and Jared to create Loin Hammer. And
Right.
we have like almost these identical, I guess, what would you say? No.
Yeah, that's it. No, you know what? Here's the thing. A lot of people would.
Interests
Well, a
and
lot of
writing
people.
styles.
Yeah,
it
but-
was amazing. Like it just gelled together. And
He brought up
Yeah.
an interesting point because it, and pardon me, correct me if I'm wrong. It's not always about the length. I would rather everybody just go by girth. Like I think it's because everybody wants to talk about length. So if your girths are aligned, so to speak, it's almost like having the stars aligned, and it's like having the perfect band. And I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't seen. I almost saw with you because depending on how much you were going to take
well,
off.
this is relevant. Actually,
yes.
before we were
I'm alarmed.
no,
Go ahead.
before we were Loin Hammer, the four of us had a cover group together called 9 Inch Males.
Ooh.
And the first
I like it.
album was called Combined because it takes all four of us to achieve.
Oh God! No, just
So, I
soft,
mean-
just soft, of course.
Go on all your various music outlets, and this is total bullshit, but it's one of my favorite names I've ever come up with. So.
I think that
Since
is
we were talking
brilliant.
about phalluses and such, I just throw it out there. Man.
So everybody's last name was Jorgen, and there would be
whatever you
nine
do-
in.
Don't
you
look for 9
and-
Inch Males at your local music section. Anyways,
Doesn't actually exist.
That's awesome, man. That's a great name, man. I love a great name. Like every once in a while, I remember there was a while, and I don't even know what they played, but the name was Band Over. Perfect. That's brilliant. You can't come anything that not much better. So that's kind of the inception of how you guys came together. Can we talk a little bit about the tracks? Because, like I said, I saw one of the tracks on Bandcamp. Go check it out if you haven't checked it out, Loin Hammer, yet on Bandcamp. I know they're going to be releasing some other stuff. Just tell me a little bit about some of the songs, maybe even some of the titles, and what people can look forward to for you in the future.
Sure. I'll
Command the
take that
microphone
question.
there.
Currently we have on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Bandcamp, our single "Squeal Chair."
Yep.
Which we released through Black Magic Studios with Randall. He did all the videography. He did all the recording.
Oh, we have the video too. The video.
Yep, it's a full-on music video, and
Right.
for right now, that's what we have to tide those that want Loin Hammer over. We have been working on a story album. Yes, a full hour-length story album that took about 2 years
9
to
Inch
fully
Males, yes.
write. And as of right now, this moment that I'm speaking to you, we are about a year and a half into recording as well.
Okay.
So it's a long and drawn out process, but it's going to result in a product that we are going to be happy with as far as getting our ideas and our stories along in a way that's palatable by anyone from fucking age 4 to age 94.
Right.
And that's really been the challenge is trying to bring together speed metal, basically, and a palatable, understandable story, and making it all work. So we have that coming out very soon as we possibly can, and we'll be spreading that as much as possible.
What do you think? So Montana, Kalispell, because the guys in Wizard are very similar in different style, but they brought the story, and I had to do it in 2 parts because there was so much story to the release that they put out on Cursed Tongue Records.
Oh, yeah.
And you also have this story that you're creating. Is that something that you see a lot in Montana? Is it indicative of the area? Is it just happenstance? Like, what do you think?
It's happenstance. It is not indicative of the area at all. And as a matter of fact, we're really good buddies with the guys in Wizards. So we've actually been kind of like toying around with it as the idea of like Marvel comics. Like you have your Wizard universe and you have your Loin Hammer universe, and we're honestly like fooling around with the idea of crossing the universes over, making that kind of Avengers idea.
I was just going to say Avengers,
bringing everything together. Cross the streams. Well, you never know. You know, Ghostbusters said don't do it, but you saw what happened when they did.
Stay Puft all the way, man.
Exactly.
It's all about Stay Puft.
Exactly.
It sounds like another cover band name. So.
You know.
Oh, absolutely.
And I mean, Loin Hammer. It's, you know, basically we're all just nerdy guys that got together. We're video gamers and, you know, basically D&D type kids that did. Doug denies D&D, but I won't. Anyways.
Now, have you ever? Are you guys familiar with Stephen Lynch?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, all right. So, tell me, what do you think about the D&D song?
I like it. I thought it was bad. You know, it's in the age when he was like, I fucking love cocaine.
Yeah, yeah.
And we all know, but I mean, he eventually met a chick and got off that, and that's how we hear this easy listening stuff. Don't get me wrong, Whiskey Dick is amazing.
It is.
But his early days, Tennessee's. That's a really good one, too. But his early days of doing that, like kind of more upbeat, like Craig Christ. Are you kidding me? I love that song. That's my jam. It's on my playlist. And D&D too. And the guy, I can't think of his name right off. Can you remember the guy he sings with?
The guy that he harmonizes with.
Yeah,
No,
unknown dude. That
and just at that end, that virgins.
But they have
until the day we.
Yeah, and they do a great job of harmonizing. And I mean, it's folk, it's rock, it's hilarious. I mean,
right.
And that's kind of something that we kind of carry over into our music. I mean, with Squealchair, you look at the idea of the fact that it's a wheelchair going out and killing people who would ever bear false witness or take advantage of any disability thing anywhere. Or, you know, like Villainous Chin, the idea that there's this Chinese warlord who's crazy power comes from the pubic hair on his chin, and that's how he kills everyone. You know, or even Zorklon, the fact that we get so ridiculous to describe alien robot zombie that is sent down to Earth to destroy mankind, you know, and those kinds of ideas where we kind of get a little bit off cuff and go crazy. I mean,
now out of all the tracks that you have prepared for this release, what was probably the most difficult or the one that you've tooled around with the most to try and get it right?
For me, I'm definitely going to say it's Hammer of the God Killer. Because this is very much the Hallowed Be Thy Name of the album. It's the last track.
That's the classic.
We spent a really long time writing it. It has very complicated parts, a lot of technical playing, and very, very well thought out vocals that have to tie up this whole album. I mean, you're tying up a story. It was hard.
Right.
It was hard to make sure every single knot was properly tightened so that we could end this motherfucker the right way and not leave people, everyone's looking for holes. You always are going to have that.
course.
The people who are like, oh, there's this huge hole there. So we really tried hard, and I'm sure there'll still be you haters out there that are like, oh, you guys completely fucked this up. But you know what? We did our honest best to try to make that complete tie-up to explain everything that was going on in the story.
And, I got to completely 100% agree with Jared that I think Hammer of the God Killer was 100% the most difficult song on the album, not only to perform, but to write, because when we wrote that song, it wasn't one complete song.
Right.
We had, like, a couple riffs that we had played and we had jammed out to and we really liked and we really wanted to incorporate into a song, but they didn't necessarily fit together. So
Sure.
What we did is we figured out a way to bridge these together without creating an actual bridge in the song, which is the challenge for me because my job, at least as far as it's concerned with me being the drummer in the band, is not to play drums just to be a drummer. I'm here to support everyone else and to play along with the guitars, play along with the bass, accent certain words, hits, whatever. And that particular song is just so all over the place in terms of riffery because it just changes so quickly. And all of those changes are so specific that I have to stay on top of it. And that being the case, it turns it into this almost a mountain to climb. It's an intimidating song to play when it comes up to play it, but I gotta say I love the song and I love its difficulty, but fuck, it is hard.
So this song, Hammer of the God Killer?
Yes,
is that it?
correct.
So this is like there's different pieces that you kind of put together to create one song. Am I getting that?
Yeah, exactly. It actually very first started with a riff that Doug would just play because he's a go-getter. He gets up to the jam room first and plugs in his guitar and starts jamming 15 minutes before any of us have the wherewithal to even fucking make it up there.
Right.
But that was just one of the little jam riffs that he would play to himself, and we just eventually heard it enough times to where we were like, fuck, we got to play that. That's fucking cool.
Right.
So we start playing it and we jam it, and it's like, we got to turn this into a song, but there's not enough here. So we pulled other material from other types of riffs that we had that were like that we knew were good, that we knew we liked, that we knew other people were going to like, and we just mashed them together, honestly.
You're in good company because if you've ever heard the story of the Beatles, they have a song that they put several pieces together. Billy Joel, Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, several songs that he put together an amalgamation, longer song, totally works. Sure, totally works. That's awesome, guys. So all right, so we're gonna wind down a little bit here. We've had this great discussion. Thank you so much. Absolutely. So is this the first like full time that you've been out of Montana on a tour?
This is our first tour ever.
Okay.
September 20th will be our 6-year anniversary as a band.
Right.
The first time we ever even played out of the state was April 20th in Boise. It was Rock Against the Mainstream.
420.
I'm sorry.
All
It was Sandpoint, Idaho. Right. Rock Against the Mainstream. It was a little...
Mosh Against the Mainstream.
No, it was Rock Against the Mainstream. Yeah. So the first time we ever even left Montana was April of this year.
Okay.
And so here we are in Arizona now.
So now this was a question, and I'm going to do a little callback here because this guy Miles from Red Wizard had this incredible question. I used to do this thing where I'd say, "Give me a question to ask the next band I interview." I kind of cut it out because I kept forgetting to ask, and I forgot what the other one was. So his question was, "What's the worst place you had to take a shit on tour?" And I thought that was a beautiful question. But I'm going to just go with Montana. I'm going to go with Montana places that you play, gigs or bars or whatever. What's the worst place to take a shit in?
The worst place to take a shit?
Yeah.
The Palace Bar.
You know, like right away, like boom, boom, boom.
There is no lock on the door. There is zero.
There's no door.
There's no door.
Yeah, there's no stall separation.
All right, all
I mean,
right,
if
all right. Okay.
there's zero chance, if there's zero chance of you having a protected defecation. The best you can hope for is that you pick that perfect time when nobody walks in on you,
Right.
especially when you're wiping.
Right.
Because then, I mean, if you're
Power,
just, if you're
pull
sitting
apart
down,
the cheeks, power log.
you can
boom.
cover, you can cover yourself. But if you're wiping and you're vulnerable, yeah.
You know what I'm gonna say, just in case, if you're going to the palace, maybe a tux pad, maybe like keep it a little cleaner. You don't want to mash that shit. Yeah.
I'm gonna-
well, you know.
I'm gonna definitely need to send this question because we're 4 days out on tour right now, so I'm gonna send this. I'm gonna actually send this question to David.
All right. I have an answer for this.
Yes.
My personal least favorite place to shit in Montana. Yeah, in Montana, playing music specifically, my least favorite spot has to be Mosh in the Mountains for two reasons. Number one, it's a wonderful festival. It's my favorite show to play in Montana.
Right.
There's so many people that come together, and they're all super awesome people. They're all metalheads. It's like you go up there, they're all family, and they all got a shit in the same spot. And it's not like an actual shitting spot. No, we're up in the mountains in the middle of bumfuck nowhere with maybe porta potties.
Or an outhouse or something like that.
Yeah, so taking a hungover actual shit in the woods,
Yeah. Gag.
that's got to be my personal least favorite.
Fair enough. You were gonna say something about this. You had something to add?
Oh, I was just going to add that I noticed when I had to shit earlier here that the door doesn't lock on this bathroom either.
No, it doesn't. This is it's a common issue, and I'm sure they're trying to rectify it as much as possible. Guys, wow, man, thank you so much.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
What can you tell me about about your music coming out? When are we gonna get some more material? When are we gonna get another single? What are we gonna get?
Well, basically, we're right on the cusp of releasing our next single, The Lair of Mazclathul.
Bless you.
And then right after The Lair of Mazclathul, you guys can just basically expect... we're really going to push hard and do our best to try to release a new single every other month until we have this album pretty much wrapped up.
Awesome.
And at that time, we'll have a full-on album release. We'll be doing cassettes, vinyl, pretty much any kind of form you can get it in. We kind of been tickling our brains with the idea of not releasing the album on the internet or on Spotify or anything like that to try to keep the actual old school, I've got it in my hand.
I was actually hearing that today. I was listening to Managemental podcast with Rob Blasco, who was in Cryptic Slaughter years ago, and he's in Zach Sabbath. I don't think he's touring this time. Excuse me. And he said for the Zach Sabbath release, the first release, they only released it on vinyl. No digital, nothing.
Right.
It's like old school, going back to that time where if you were going to listen to it, you had to get it. You had to be in a spot to listen to it, and you couldn't leave, or else, like, you can't take vinyl with you anywhere. And it was just a throwback. I think they're going to change it now, but I thought that was such a cool idea, and maybe it's time to bring that back a little bit. You know?
I agree with you, and we're doing that not only with this album, but we do that with our merch. We have plenty of avenues that we could sell LoinHammer shirts, shot glasses, stuff like that, and
out online?
and all of that. No, we'll be putting the singles out online as we do them, but when we're done with this album, it's gonna probably be a little while, if ever, that we actually release a full album online.
And so you're also saying the merch. You're keeping the merch for like touring and stuff.
The merch is
that's
shows only.
Very interesting point. So this is a testament. If you people are gonna stay home, you ain't gonna get it. So get your asses on out to the show.
Exactly.
Hear some heavy music, and hang out with the guys.
Exactly.
Say hello. And that's one of the things. And I'll end this, but it was like, I thought it was really kick-ass of you all because you're in here, you played your set. Not only did you play one set, this is the first time I've ever seen this, ever, with any band that has come through here, where you actually took the time to play two separate sets. Phenomenal. And not only that, the kick-ass part that I saw was afterwards, you went to some of the patrons and you shook their hand. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for supporting whatever music you want to listen to, supporting the scene, and just supporting a fucking touring act. That could not have been more class than I've ever seen in this scene.
Thank you. We really appreciate it.
And
We really do.
It wasn't done on purpose. It was just like, it was kindness. And I thought that was so cool. And thank you guys for stopping by in Tempe, kicking our asses and rocking out. Much success on the rest of the tour, and just have a kick-ass 2019, whatever's left of it. And can't wait for some new material from you guys.
Absolutely. You guys can check us out at Loin Hammer on the Facebook, Power of the Loin Hammer. You can check us out on Instagram. Also, you can give me a personal phone call at any time. You can check that out by doing just a little bit of digging.
all right.
And
There you
yeah,
go.
I'll talk to you. You know, it's in there. It's in
right,
the deep.
all right.
And
In the dark
you know,
web.
just keep doing what you guys are doing, listening to stuff like this podcast, going out physically, seeing live bands, supporting them, buying their merch. Even a sticker, guys, helps these bands get down the road. Anything to help these bands, because you know what? At one point, this is all going to come to a fruition of existence. And I hope it's not during my lifetime. And as long as you guys are out there still pushing it, and I'm still even personally out there pushing it, and we all are, you know, that it's going to keep on going.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, I just got to say personally, and I know everyone in the band agrees with me when I say this, is that we would not be here at all if it weren't for support, love, attendance, just people being supportive of what we're doing.
Right.
So it is literally our job not only to provide an excellent, the best thing that we can possibly put out, but to also thank them for appreciating it as much as they can, because that is really what drives the wheel and what makes LoinHammer go. So that is, you know, we'll always be there, and we'll always be willing to shake your hand, talk to you, you know, exchange names. I'll even friend you on Facebook personally, but really that's what matters is the personal connection and, you know, doing what we can as best as we can.
Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much. Cheers.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
We'll talk to you soon.
Have a great night.
A big thanks goes out to the guys in Loin Hammer. That was just an incredible discussion. Had a great time hanging out with them. I hope someday when I'm in Montana, I'll get to see what this scene is that they're discussing. It doesn't matter whether it's Loin Hammer or whether it's the guys in Wizard. There's a huge scene in Montana, and we got to go check it out. Until that time, let's hear a track from them. This is Squeal Chair.
Flesh me in the mouth.
So, do you agree with us with the album? We're just curious. The track by track discussion. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Please send me a line, doomtombpodcast@gmail.com, or hit me up on social media at doomtombpodcast. If you have inquiries, if you have submissions, you want to get on the podcast, you want to do an interview, let me know, doomtombpodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget about Planet Mammoth 2020. It's going to be crushing. There's even other shows before that. It's going to be probably, I'm guessing, 5 days of epic stoner doom and sludge. Only at Yucca Tap Room in Tempe, Arizona. You won't want to miss it. Next up is going to be Grail. Then after that is Nebula Drag. Thanks so much for listening. Take care of yourselves. Keep going to the shows. Buy some of that band merch every once in a while. And don't forget to stay heavy.